I said, hey, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for Happy Hour, the Man Cave Happy Hour. Whiskey, cigars, spirits, and the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I'm Matt Fox.
I'm still August Gitschlag.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing okay, buddy. How you doing?
You know, it's Monday evening. It's we're getting back on track with our weekly recordings of the Man Cave Happy Hour.
That's it.
7:00 Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendars. Be here.
How are all your Lions game disappointment hangovers going?
Oh, sorry. What?
How are your post Lions game hangovers
Oh,
going?
did they play yesterday?
Will Amazon take these hoods? These
ski masks
back?
Yeah, once you've worn it once, you can't send it back. Folks.
I'll tell you what.
Can't put the Kool-Aid back in the package.
I'll tell you what. I enjoyed watching that game yesterday. Yes,
it was an action-packed, exciting game.
It wasn't the greatest of outcomes, but it was actually a very good game to watch. That's all I've wanted from this team is for them to compete week after week, and they competed.
Yeah,
so.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
I want to have fun watching the game.
We had fun. We had a riot.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun to watch.
We were trying to help. Colleen was screaming. I just don't think they heard her all the way downtown. The neighbors all heard her.
Oh, yeah?
So the neighbors knew exactly what the Lions should do because she was telling them. But yeah, it got very boisterous. I said that on the City of Champions because I was curious what the frenzy fanaticism was like in Detroit in 1935 as these teams were winning and there's and I expect the Lions are going to win more games. It's going to be a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one goes undefeated.
But the fanaticism last week, I felt was probably on par with
the hype.
Yeah, with the excitement.
It was so overhyped after beating Kansas City. Everyone was just on top of each other's shoulder. There's people all over the place downtown. People weren't in the game; they were just filled up the bars, which they used to do for Tigers games this time of year. You know,
right.
So it was nice to see at least one team. And if you had told me the Lions would be good before the Pistons were good, or before the
Red Wings came back,
I'd said you're nuts. But
right.
I still think you're nuts, but Lions fans. But but I went to Michigan State, so what can I say?
It's
Are you still reliving that hangover?
That one never goes away. It never goes away.
Yeah. So I'm very optimistic for the Lions for their season. I was and people are like, oh, Super Bowl. I'm like, okay. Now
just dial that back a second.
Okay. Pump the brakes there, Slappy.
Let's say playoffs, and we'll be happy.
Win a division. Win a bad division that has a bad Bears team.
But it was funny. It's like because they said that everybody in their division lost, so they're still at the same ranking.
Right.
I don't know if that's true. I read it on the internet. Well, it's got to be true.
Yeah,
Chicago lost, Vikings lost, and I think Atlanta beat Green Bay.
Yeah, Atlanta did beat Green Bay.
Yeah. So
we're now a sports and whiskey and cigars.
They maintain their position. If anybody would like to wager on any of those things, we're taking wagers. No, we're not.
No, we're not. Don't go down that road.
No, that's not legal.
But what are we going to hedge bets on today?
I was.
On how much criticism we get for trying a Canadian whiskey in the middle of all of our bourbon and rye tastings,
right?
So it's we're gonna cross the border. We're gonna take it up north to the Blantons of the North, is affectionately called. People are like, it's like in whiskey clubs. I don't know if you're on any of the whiskey clubs.
Yeah,
on face. And it's like they're like, oh, taters and Blantons garbage, and it's like I like Blantons. Blantons is nice. Mm-hmm. It's not the end all be all. I'm not gonna pay $200 for a bottle, but it's nice.
There's a limit I will pay on Blantons.
And but this the Caribou Crossing, we're gonna cross the border and we're gonna do the Caribou Crossing.
We're gonna visit our friends in Canada.
We are, and it comes to us via St. Clair Shores.
Well, our really great friend Tony from the Wine Garden.
Tony,
super great, close friend of the show. So, Big Tony, thank you for helping us find a bottle of the Caribou Crossing so we can give it a taste.
Some people were like, when I posted the picture, which is a really sexy picture. If you haven't seen it on Facebook, I took a picture of it in the studio with all the cool groovy lights on. People are like, oh my God, and then where'd you get the
Northern Lights
box? See it. Yeah. And So the picture's there.
That's
I held the box up a few times. If you're watching now on Facebook or YouTube, you can see it. If you haven't, or just Google Caribou Crossing.
You see the topping,
And
Oh, yeah.
it's very reminiscent.
Very.
And the topper of the bottle, it comes in a blue bag, not dissimilar
weed
to
in there.
the Crown Royal. Yeah,
or your headphones.
We're DJs. We use it for microphones and headphones.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the Caribou Crossing, it's a lovely blue bag, and then it has the caribou on the stopper, not too dissimilar from the Blanton's horses.
Is there wax and
oh, yeah,
pewter?
there's- oh, yeah,
No,
there's
they
wax.
wax it up
Wax
too.
and pewter.
But there's no letter. There's no collecting Caribou Crossing.
yeah,
You got to
yeah.
drink like 50 pints before you get the name.
Can't
of
make
the
a
damn
chest set
thing.
out of it. Yeah.
Each caribou's got a different. Anyways.
Oh, and
and
you get
then
a
the-
medallion too.
Oh,
This is up in the cross. The
oh,
MSRP goes higher and higher with
Yep,
every
yep.
gimmick.
Yeah.
And then, well, no, the medallion is, and then the bottle itself is, squared off, but it's roundish at the tops. That not too. It's reminiscent of your Blantons.
Yeah.
As well, and the medallion on here, on this one, on the medallion on here, it's the Brotherhood of the Barrel, single barrel pick. And that's Tony's.
Ah, it's his
that's because this is
distinction.
a single barrel pick.
It's his
Now,
barrel pick, okay.
Caribou Crossing is single barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And most Canadians are always blended though. That's
and
kind of like
that's-
the
Yep.
the thing.
And that's the shtick, and that's why it's because Blanton's is a single barrel. And it was the first one, I think the first one down here to be a single barrel, regularly produced.
All right, I'll buy it. I don't
And
have
then
any. I don't
I
have
read
evidence
it-
one way or the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say it's true.
He's
and then-
googling it now.
And then, but this is a barrel pick. So Tony went and specifically picked this barrel, or was given
He
samples.
went to Canada to do that.
I don't know.
No,
I
it's
don't know.
done. They bottled that at Buffalo Trace.
Oh.
It's set down.
It's yeah.
Made in Canada, bottled here.
So and yeah, it's imported from Canada. To,
I do some show research.
Sazerac.
too.
A good. I
brings it
heard.
in. But talking about Canadian whiskey, we don't know. I mean, because we've mentioned Canadian whiskeys.
Yeah.
Well, at Michigan, it's more common here. I mean, I think outside of the Michigan, the border states with Canada, I think all you ever think of is Crown Royal, right?
Right.
That's what. people
Well,
know.
Canadian Club.
Canadian Club.
Yeah, that's more here. I never see Canadian Club when I was like in Boston. Or
No.
in, like,
That's
Seagram's.
Metro
Usually
Detroit
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You'll see
It's
like Buffalo. But-
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but Matt, we got a little information about the origins of spirits, whiskeys, and
a little bit. This comes from
and whiskey without the E in Canada.
yeah. This comes from
because I think
Cranbrook.
they're Scotch.
Yeah.
Scotch.
It's very Scotchy.
Without the
They have no E.
E.
Yeah, this is coming from cranbrookhistorycenter.com, and that's center with an E on the end of it there, right? So
Very Scottish.
Century.
Century?
Euro. The Euro E.
That's where the E went.
That's where
Yeah,
it was.
All right.
the Euro E.
So there's a word that I actually had not heard of really
Mhm,
when it
mhm.
comes to prohibition, and it's
Yes.
called temperance.
Yeah, the temperance movement.
Temperance
That's what
movement
started
was,
it all.
Yeah, was a movement that actually spread across the Western world
Bunch
in
of
the
prudes.
late 19th and early 20th centuries. So
Mhm.
the movement really aimed to limit or all out ban the consumption of alcohol.
If
of alcohol based-
if your
'cause
lips touch
Yeah.
spirits, they won't touch mine. And it's
No,
like
it's
this
'cause
picture. of
People were
these-
getting drunk and beating people up, beating up the women. They're
But
just- they're
that's
doing
the
it,
attitude
Yeah.
that brought prohibition to Canada, was that exact thing. And so the Temperance Act, also known as the Scott Act, was introduced in 1878. And the act gave local governments the power to ban the sale of alcohol.
Mm. And this is up in Canada.
Yeah.
So the states didn't do it. Our prohibition was 1925 to 33, I think, or 1920 to 33.
Yeah. So actually, by 1917, all provinces except for
20.
Quebec had actually prohibited the sale of alcohol.
So before us.
before us.
Before us.
And that decentralization of prohibition in Canada made the issue even more complex and less successful than the movement in the United States.
So yeah. All right. So, but it was legal to make it, but they couldn't sell it. is
Correct.
From what I
They
understood,
could not sell it.
they could make
Well,
it,
they
but they
sold it
couldn't
here.
sell it
They sold it in the United States.
Yeah.
until
Until
1920.
until 1920.
Yeah, and when our prohibition kicked in 1920.
So when you're talking about the pre and post European colonization, and there's some content warning here, fellas.
uh-oh.
Okay, so there's a content warning. We're going to
Content
talk
warning.
about alcohol,
Flashing lights.
violence,
We're going to talk about alcohol violence.
racism, and a mention of intergenerational trauma. Okay, that's
Okay.
all here. All right,
Trigger
so-
warnings.
Yes.
I just can
I'm
I
a
just
delicate
point
flower here, Matt.
can I
Fox.
point out that my pronouns are da do 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 da 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 da. Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll be watching you.
So that's
Every
is that
breath-
wrong? I was gonna put that in my signature at school.
No, that would not go well.
That wouldn't go well.
No, you're too close to retirement. You need to hang on to that. Just suck it up, Buttercup. Trust me, I know all about it right now.
I really want to put it in there.
So after the arrival of your
It's
European,
insensitive.
no, of course not.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Apologies.
No, so after the arrival of European colonizers, alcohol consumption changed drastically. The British and French quickly adjusted their trading strategy to actually take advantage of the addictive properties of alcohol in the territory now known as North America. So good for them. They're gonna drink a lot.
Give them some of this mead and wine.
So trading alcohol took off.
So you can make fun of the French and
offensive
Germans.
French Canadian accents is not
French and Germans you can make fun of.
Oui, yes.
You can't do Asian accents anymore. You can't. So
the trading of alcohol took off during the fur trade, where rum and brandy would be exchanged for animal skins.
Okay.
Instead, right? So alcohol can act as a catalyst for violence, and it can be unclear when to stop drinking.
The problem and solution to all of life's problems.
Especially the first time. The first time you start drinking, when do I stop? When you
What's
don't
the
know,
cause and solution to all of life's problems. That's
solution?
a proper Homer Simpson line.
So colonial powers actually took advantage of their struggles and used addiction to spread misinformation and racist stereotypes about indigenous peoples as well. That's where that intergenerational thing is at. So it's just alcohol can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
If you're
and it was used in very wicked, evil ways.
Yeah.
So you're saying this is bad juju here? That's what you're talking about? Or are you just talking about what we do a show on a basis in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Canada actually had.
We edit this part out where he's trashing drinking.
Yeah.
Well,
that's kind of what we do here.
But let's talk. Let's actually talk about Canada's drinking problem. Again, this is still out of the Cranbrook HistoryCenter.com. Yeah. So throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, water contamination was a very serious problem, especially in the cities.
Yeah.
You drank for safety.
Right.
Yeah.
So before sewer systems were installed, cities were a biohazard littered with human and animal waste piling up on the streets, dumps, and abandoned mines.
What does this have to do with Caribou Crossing single barrel with that delightful little thing on the top?
We're getting there. We're gonna drink it, and it's gonna taste like rain would wash waste into clean water above and below ground.
So I mean that's where. So the drinking. So you might as well distill it,
right?
So it's clean to drink.
So you either boil the water.
And next thing you know, you got fire water.
So you either boil the water to make tea and coffee, or drink alcohol.
There you are.
There it is. So that's why they had a drinking problem, because they went the way of alcohol, not tea or coffee.
Good stinking, fellas.
Or charcoal filters.
Yeah.
All right. That is a pretty bottle. That is a pretty presentation.
It really is.
It's nice. So I got some ice in here. And so, yeah, it's funny that Canada repealed prohibition before, as the states started, our laws started. That's when Canada started to repeal.
Right.
So it was legal again in Canada and then illegal here. And when that Detroit River froze,
man, they were back and forth.
Drive them cars across. All right, but let's crack this bad boy. One of you guys want to open that up for me? All right. We'll grab the little
glasses there, man.
I think I'm doing this right.
You pull them both. There's two of them.
No, pull both sides. Spread it. There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Someone ever tell you to do
zingy,
that again.
zingy, zingy.
I'm not. My fingers suck.
It's my arthritis.
Yeah.
Hey, there it is. All right, get that right up close to that bottle. Just fresh crack. Open that up right into the microphone.
That wasn't it. Oh. That sounded like my high school. Never mind.
Talk about a content warning. Hello. Can you?
Sounds like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue arrived when you were in high school.
I did not
Sears catalog at Christmas time.
I did not have that. I did not own that Kathy Ireland.
What happened to the lingerie pages in here?
Like 25 through 50 just kind of skipped.
Oh, all right.
I'm sure some school board members trying to get those removed now.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So,
that's actually got a really pleasant nose on it.
What's the heat on this?
Oh, I don't know.
Here's the copper.
40%.
Oh, so
80.
80 proof. Your standard
80, yeah,
action.
80 proof. That's
got
a
a
standard. Yeah, for that's your minimum for a bourbon, and that's
It's got a pleasant nose.
Your typical Irish whiskeys in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Until I did some reading on this, I just always assumed that every Canadian whiskey was rye, like they were all just ryes.
Oh,
yeah.
Is Crown Royal? No, Crown's not a rye.
There's all kinds of weird rules to make it a whiskey. Like you used to have it 9.09% blended with American spirits in order to sell it without a tariff in America.
Oh
so
my
God. They kept that number.
Yeah.
Part of it, so you can put 9.09% of a different booze in your liquor in the whiskey in Canada.
Oh,
which is frowned upon here.
Yeah.
But they can put like sherry in it or
Sure.
brandy or cognac or something to make it taste a little different so they can play with the flavors.
Oh, wow.
And they kept that 9.09, which used to be the number, the percentage it had to be to sell
get around the tariffs.
Get around the tariffs.
Ah.
Interesting.
Gorgeous nose on this.
I know stuff. I'm smart.
You smart.
That is a gorgeous nose on that.
I got a lot of
Oh, hey, holy crap.
There's
And speaking
Hey,
of,
at him.
all right,
What up, guys?
Tony, thanks for
How you
popping
guys
in.
doing?
We just cracked it and we're just sniffing the Caribou.
Perfect timing.
So Caribou it's a single barrel. Caribou Crossing is a single barrel, but this is a particular pick that you had there at the wine garden.
Yep. So we unfortunately we didn't pick this one. It's called a distillery pick. So the distillery and the master distiller picks it as a store pick. So this one in particular we had nothing to do with.
Yeah, you just said we want that, and they said okay.
Correct.
Pick out the good one for us.
Did you give them some sort of profile to go after, or just said pick me a winner?
So all of the Caribou Crossing is actually a single barrel. All the kind of like the Blanton's concept or bottling, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do not have a blended Caribou Crossing. So honestly, I have very little to do with it. It's just like I know that people like to buy it, and so when I get offered a barrel like that, I know it can sell, and I know it tastes good. I just bought it. I usually don't. This one in particular, no store can ever pick their pick. It's all distillery pick.
Okay.
They don't have any samples. Obviously, you got to go to Canada. It's very far. It's like I asked them one time when they first gave me the opportunity to give this barrel. They said I was like, I'd like to go and do the pick there. I figure I hang out. It's close to Montreal or something. He's like, Tony, he's 14 and a half hours away from me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's just a small plane ride,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, with this bottle in particular, there no store can pick it. It's all distillery pick. And you just tell them you want a barrel, and they send you a barrel.
So you've tried this one. How does this compare to the regular single barrel that Caribou puts out?
See, in my opinion, this Caribou Crossing is actually a great bourbon for a lot of the beginners. And the people that enjoy their whiskey a little bit lighter, that they add water to it or anything like that, this whiskey works perfectly for that. It's just a little bit lighter, easier to drink. Some people use the word smooth for it. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's nice and light, but
it's got like a berries and cream smell that I kind of get.
Yeah,
from
right.
It.
And the color though,
neat.
the color is a little darker. It's lighter than a lot of bourbons, but it's darker than Canadian whiskey, generally speaking.
Yeah. So when I dropped in on you guys, you were talking about like Canadian whiskey being rye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. About more than 80% of Canadian whiskeys are rye, including, I heard you say, the Crown Royal.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a blend, but majority of it is rye. Now Canadians don't really say, they don't put it out. They don't tell it to the public. They don't put it on the bottle because they understand that a lot of people in America don't. Well, back then they didn't like rye, I mean, people like rye now, so it's different story.
Yeah.
But when they first started out selling it to United States, they probably thought, oh, Americans don't like rye, so we're not going to tell them it's rye. We're just going to call it whiskey.
It was a dirty secret.
And the Caribou Crossing is part of the Sazerac family?
Correct. Yes.
So they import it from a Canadian distiller,
right,
and then bottle it there.
Right.
So yeah.
No, they bought that distillery. They own that distillery.
They own it.
Oh, so they own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that.
And
too.
I think
Okay.
Caribou Crossing, before it was Caribou Crossing the way it is right now, with that beautiful topper on it.
Yeah.
I think it used to be a Canadian leaf before.
Oh.
So don't quote me, but I'm 99% sure.
Well, if you're 99% sure, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know. I think it's worth looking into. I honestly think it used to be. They used to have a leaf on top of it, like the topper was a leaf. And I think once Buffalo Trace bought them out, like maybe 10 or 12 years ago or something like that, they changed the Caribou Crossing. They wanted to have the same concept that that Blanton's have.
Yeah. So it's I like it. It's like McDonald's and my Happy Meal. This comes with a toy.
That's
I'm
right.
very very happy with my little moose.
Well, as you can see, I'm here for it.
Yeah. No, it's I like it. It's very
It's a nice
good.
sipper.
I just think, to me, I like higher proofs. So, that's not in my wheelhouse, but a lot of people that like lower proof, this works great for them.
Yeah, you're actually you're 100% right, Tony. The topper used to be a maple leaf.
Oh,
100% right.
There you are.
Yeah, I remember seeing it back in the day. I've been around for 30 years now, 35 years. So I remember seeing it had the leaf on it, but I wasn't gonna put my money on it. Oh yeah.
It is. Vintage. Vintage.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony, you released this on Saturday. People were pretty excited about it. You're down to like 20 bottles left. You're
I think
going fast.
this
I'm
is
gonna have to come visit. I owe you a visit anyway.
If you want to dump the water out.
Yeah.
This is what we have left.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
So were there some at the Sterling Heights location as well?
Yeah, he's got very few left, just as many maybe.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's if you like the Caribou and you want the wine garden pick of it, get your backside over to the wine garden there in St. Clair Shores, south of 9, right on Harper.
I hate to say it's kind of allocated as well. So usually stores don't even give that much of it anymore. Back in the day, you could get as many as you want. Recently, it hasn't been stuff, like bottles sitting on shelves. Like
well, that's the story with everything, Tony. That's how it all is now. It's such a craze, nothing's sitting around. There's no dusty bottles anymore of anything single barrel.
No, you're right. But especially this one, honestly.
Well, there might be some in the back room, but that's just because we haven't gotten to them yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The next one we'll do in the back room, so you can just pop in after work and join us in the back, and we'll do it.
I would love that
in the magic bunker back there. So
Yeah.
what else? You got anything else that you can break some news on? What's coming? That we keep an eye out for?
Absolutely, a bunch of stuff coming up. We have we have a Russell's pick that we're gonna release sometime soon. Is a monster. I love Russell's. We have a Four Roses single barrel. That is a monster as well. We have an Eagle Rare. We have a Buffalo Trace.
Oh, nice.
Pick. We're gonna do an Old Forester barrel proof soon. I have an Elijah Craig. We have an Elijah Craig 94 proof and a barrel proof picks. Yeah, we'll have easily another 10 barrels between now and the end of the year.
Oh, good. I need to have some put aside for my brother for Christmas. He's now become a bourbon snob. So I just had Thomas McGee's down in Eastern Market has an Elijah Craig barrel pick.
Ooh,
and it was delicious. I had it yesterday before the Lions game. Like, if I'm going to get a good one, I'm getting it now before this starts, so I can taste it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
And no, I'm glad to hear you have one coming, because I'll grab that.
I love Eric. Eric is a good guy.
Yeah, Eric's a good dude. Yeah.
Funny thing is, we went to the Windsor Canadian distillery invited me and few others to go to cross the border and visit the distillery. And Eric McGee was on the bus. We had such a great time, you know.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's one of the only guys that's still promoting, pushing, and supporting boxing.
Yeah,
he's a big boxing guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went there one time at his bar and did a cigar event one time.
Yeah, he had one. We were gonna participate in the one Cigars for Soldiers event.
Yeah,
and
he
we couldn't get the timing down.
Yeah,
but we're gonna do a podcast with Eric and do it from down there to promote some of the. He does a lot of charity and a lot of gold gloves and stuff like that. So
yeah, good guy. It's a very good guy. I like him. I like his energy. I remember when he first opened the bar. Actually, you know, he's one of the only bars if you're a soccer fan and you want to go watch a soccer game at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
On a
I've
Sunday.
been there. I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm known there.
And they
not
get
a regular, but I'm known.
It's nice though. They get a crowd. It's fun when people are into it, right? So if you go and it's on it, you know,
if it's a Liverpool game or a Formula One race, there's people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're at the Applebee's and a soccer game's on, nobody's paying attention, but you're there. People are into it and know what the heck's going on.
I always wear my Tottenham Hotspur gear to their Christmas party just so someone will yell at me. 'Cause it's a Liverpool bar.
Right on.
It is an awesome place. I really love it. I wish he was close to the house. I'd frequent more often.
That's why I Ubered down there yesterday so I could frequent it as much as I wanted to.
What was the wait like to get home on after all the shenanigans?
Oh, we got home pretty quick. We did a jump. We did from downtown to Hamtramck, watched the fourth quarter in Hamtramck, then bounced to Ferndale. And then at 8 o'clock, I got home to St. Croix Shores. It wasn't too bad.
That's not bad.
No, not too bad.
All right, Tony, thank you. Thanks
All
for
right.
the bottle. It was an awesome pick. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's an easy drinker. It really is easy to drink.
And I'm looking forward to the Buffalo Trace pick. I always like to try to get the Buffalo Trace picks when stores have them because they're still reasonably priced.
Yeah.
But then there's a unique profile to them, which
But I
love Buffalo Trace.
You have to drink it with the original next to it so you can really taste the difference.
Yeah,
I found that I have to do that with some of these barrel picks so that I know why am I buying this barrel pick instead of just Buffalo Trace, which is yummy.
Yeah.
So, you gotta I gotta compare them and convince myself that I still want the barrel pick.
That reminds me.
First Buffalo Trace pick I did was in 2011. And are you ready? It was 13 and a half years old barrel.
Whoa.
Wow.
Damn.
Okay.
I know I gave a bunch of your, was it the women's? Remember the one that had the Rosie?
Oh, yeah, no, that one was like 10 and a half years old.
Yeah, I gave a bunch of those as Christmas presents I went and bought from you.
Yeah. That one was a gem.
People really liked it. They really liked that one.
Yeah.
Every barrel since 2011 I've gotten, it has, we've gotten ones that are younger and younger. It's like 7 years old now. I'm sorry, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Nine is like the oldest you can get. But I used to be able to get 13 and a half. One time I almost got 14 years old out of it, a few months shy. Yeah, I mean,
they can't let the juice sit around that long. They're monetizing it as fast as they can,
Yeah. I mean, it's a business, it's a boom. But I think in another 4 or 5 years, things will turn it back around.
Well, the market has to correct itself at some point. You can't keep coming out with new bourbons,
Yeah.
Well, you can.
Usually every 10 years is a cycle.
Yeah.
That's it's what we see.
Okay.
But thanks. Hey, thank you for letting me join in to the beautiful talk about whiskey.
Yeah.
Hey,
you got to come check out this studio.
Yeah,
too.
you got to come see us here.
This is a fancy pants one.
I have to. I'm sitting in the aisle here talking to you guys. Everybody's looking at me like,
hey, Tony, let's go golfing soon.
Yeah. So Mike from Dave from Butter Run, Dave Harden, is organizing one. It's coming up soon. I think it's not next Monday, but the Monday after.
Oh, I'll take a look.
I would love for you guys to come in.
We were partnered up at the Cops for Kids St. Croix Shores golf outing. Like I feel
a cold coming on.
Yeah.
I think I might have a little Monday flu,
little sniffles.
Yeah, I missed it this year. Hopefully next year.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Cheers.
I'll come see you soon, Tom.
Pleasure's all mine. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
well, the one and only Big Tony.
Big
I love
Tony.
I didn't think he was gonna because I just sent him the link in the thing. I'm like, if you feel like popping in. He's like, I gotta work till 8.
I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just I didn't know that. I thought they would give him samples, but no, these are all distiller picks.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, he's gonna take it how he can get it, right?
Yeah. You know. Because it is, he said it's somewhat allocated. It's you don't see it as often as he used to. So.
Sure.
Yummy.
So
Yummy,
how
yummy,
did
yummy.
you, Jamie, come across this? Did he tell you that he had it, or?
Yeah, he's saying, he said, hey, it's coming out on Saturday. You need to be here on Saturday. Wink. Make sure I was in there like Thursday afternoon, and he's like, so make sure you come back on Saturday. And I'm like,
I did.
Not that Tony plays favorite, but he sold it to me right there.
I messaged the.
But I told him
guys.
we were going to do the show, and I had a wedding on Saturday, and I couldn't go back. And so he was like, let me sell it to you now, so you can do the show with it. And I'm like, thank you. So he sold it to me a couple days early. But yeah, I was just in there shopping. I was I don't know. I was picking up my glasses. My optometrist is just down the street, and I was
wait. You're in St. Clair Shores for your optometrist, but you live 35 minutes
lived
away?
on the street.
I know you did.
When
I won't say the word
on the street
the
where you
name of it,
live.
but,
I used to live on Maxine,
See,
which
yeah,
actually the next street up.
Maxine.
On the
South Ender.
I usually just walk around his parking lot singing "On the Street Where You Live."
You go over to Wally's.
house.
Doctor, dude,
in the middle
that would
of
be
our
that would be
street.
that would be a little
Our
less than a little less weird than show tunes.
Yeah,
Maybe doing a little madness would be a little less weird. Than
that would be a
show
little
tunes.
less weird. Yeah.
Okay, but no. So I was there, and I was like, I'm just pop in and say hi to Tony. And
He's a source. He's a source for this show. He just is great.
I bought a bottle of Buffalo Trace because I was out at home. So and he's stocked. He's got the magnums.
Yeah,
he's got the big ones and the little ones, and they're pretty much.
Oh, okay. You're talking. I thought you would
Regular Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
No, he's like
not
the
condoms.
big
Yeah.
He's got the whatever they're a liter.
He doesn't need those.
A half gallon.
None of us do.
None of us do.
None of us do.
Anyway.
But, well, I'm going to tell you something about this.
Yeah.
It loses almost everything
when you put water.
When you put water or ice in it.
Yep.
It really loses it. It's so light.
Turns into
to just flavored water.
Turns into Canadian Club.
Yeah. Not Canadian Club. It doesn't.
It just turns into.
This is a much more pleasant everything than Canadian Club. Obviously.
Yeah.
But when you drink it straight and neat, you get those berry flavors, you get the molasses, you get the smells and all that.
Yeah.
You put it on the rocks and it's gone.
Well, it's only 40%. It's only 40%. So it's only 40%.
This is not one that I would blend. I wouldn't or would mix with ginger ale or something like that. I usually do.
Yeah.
That's how I like my high proof bourbons.
Yeah.
With all the the hot ones, I like to put a diet ginger ale in there, and it's delicious. This is one you got to drink straight.
Yeah.
I think this is neat or bust.
Neat or bust.
Neat or bust.
So kill, marry, screw. Kill, marry, screw.
Ooh, kill, marry. I am glad I married it. I will marry it again.
Okay.
I brought this one home. I don't think this one is going to live in the studio.
So because it's an easy drinker. It's an 80%. It's not overwhelming. It's nice. It's a nice end of the day drink.
I don't hate it, but I ain't gonna marry it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna screw it, but I might let it touch me.
Because it's
I might Mel Tucker this, but I'm not gonna screw it.
It's touching me now.
I would screw around with this. I wouldn't marry it though.
Yeah. No, I'm glad it's gonna be on my shelf at home. I'm happy about it.
Oh no, I
might replace
absolutely agree that it is worthy of a place on the shelf. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. If only to compare it and to say, look, this is a Canadian whiskey when you're drinking these hot bourbons and stuff. Here's a Canadian single barrel. Most of them are blended.
They are.
And I'll say it every day. I have no fear of blended whiskeys. I like the consistency. My best Jameson I ever had was that Gold Reserve, which was a distiller's blend that you can't get a touch a bottle of that for under $300 now if you can find it.
Right.
I used to give it as wedding presents.
Yeah.
I love blended. There's a Michter's American whiskey blend that's delicious. There's a Bib and Tucker out there that no one really knows who makes. It's sourced, and that's delicious.
Love Bib and Tucker.
I like
Bib
Bib and Tucker a lot.
Yeah,
I got a bottle of that right now on the shelf.
Blended and
getting abused.
They proudly blended.
We did a Bib and Tucker episode back in our old studio.
I think we did. The bottle's cool too. It looks like an old antique kind of medicine-y kind of bottle.
Right.
Yeah. The Motor City hypnotist David Wright has
David
R. Wright has joined us.
I'm really excited. He's going to be completely sober for his podcast this week.
Not quite.
Not completely, because
I just poured some of of our
Caribou
what we're
Crossing.
tasting.
After
Caribou
12
Crossing.
12 barrel picks one week and then Irish whiskey tasting the next week.
Yeah.
And
That's why I figured just a taste. Well, okay, just one. We'll
Yeah,
do just
all right,
one.
just one.
Fun
Here
day
we go.
Monday.
This is this is the plan. Just try one. It's things have gotten a little off the rails. The last-
No. Things have not.
Deliciously.
It was one time.
Deliciously.
It was just one time, and I felt like a Canadian not being responsible for that
Mhm,
first
mhm.
time. But it was just
Well, with
one
A-
time.
A&B liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
A&B liquor.
we
We
had
did
A&B
the
liquor.
we did the Irish whiskey
Are you forgetting
tasting.
the?
No, I
No.
messaged A&B looking
Yeah.
for a specific bottle of something for my brother.
Oh.
And he
Oh.
hasn't gotten back to me. I hope you're
Ooh,
listening. I hope
Yvonne.
you're listening, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Are you
Yvonne.
listening?
All right, but David,
Yes.
so you grabbed a pour of
I
the
did.
Caribou Crossing. What were your impressions of this Canadian?
Well, I'm
Delicacy.
really just taking like my second sip here. But,
He's like, it's no old soul. I'm telling you.
oh,
Damn you.
it's
Too soon?
Yeah.
yeah, it's too soon. Huh?
Bottle robber.
Yeah. I would bring the rest of it in.
Hey,
but there-
that's
there's
on
only
me,
about
fellas.
No,
that one's
no,
on
no,
me.
no.
there's
all
only
right?
about this much left.
That's
so,
all good. Yeah,
you know.
savor,
enough.
Savor
That's
that.
That's enough. That'll get me a couple polls. That's enough, buddy.
Savor that at home. Savor that at home. But what do you? Yeah, what are your impressions?
I actually enjoy this. I think
Yeah.
it's a nice little sipper.
Did you put
August, I think you were saying I did not. I have it neat, so
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
the
put
way to
any-
drink it.
yes.
Stay with that.
Stay with neat.
yeah,
stay with neat.
yeah. It
It
deteriorates.
loses-
It
it
loses what's awesome about it. You lose with the ice and water.
Yeah.
You just do.
Right.
Because it's a very subtle light whiskey. So
Mhm.
it's a subtle drinker.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want it like cold. I mean, it's just it's good.
Just neat.
Yeah.
Just neat.
It's a good after
Neat.
mowing the lawn, sit down.
Mom would like this. And that's not saying that insultingly. It's just that it has that cream and berries kind of flavor to it, a little bit of vanilla. and
Yeah,
molasses.
yeah.
Yeah, it has a good smell. I enjoy it neat. That's
No,
why
it
I
has
have
a-
another one.
It's a very pleasant nose. It's very great. It's very good on the neat side. But like you said, I put a few ice cubes in it, and I was like, not so much anymore.
No, line
you
it
know?
up next to Crown Royal straight.
Oh, much.
neat,
Oh, yeah.
and line up next to Canadian Club.
Oh.
And this is blowing it out of the
Oh,
water.
of
I mean,
course.
yes,
it is
yes,
it is-
absolutely.
and Crown Royal is probably not that much cheaper.
I
No,
don't
It
think so.
probably isn't. I mean, that's
I mean, this is a barrel pick, so it was upwards of 60.
Did I ever tell you my favorite Crown Royal drinking story?
No,
No.
what is your favorite?
So story time with
Crown
Uncle Augie. The weekend of the blackout. Remember
Okay.
where everything went
In
dark here?
2003.
Oh,
The
you're talking about
blackout.
when the whole power grid
Yeah.
went
That
down?
was in
Okay.
Exactly.
2003.
Let me tell you about June. June was that blackout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Let me tell you
Wrong-
about this
wrong-
I'm
time.
August. That's June.
Let
Wrong
me tell you about the
blackout,
time
wrong
we did a
blackout.
podcast with the A&B guys.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So I was in Buffalo, New York when that occurred, and Buffalo had power.
Oh.
And I was at a convention, and the keynote speaker is a gentleman from Ohio. You may have heard of.
Hey.
And
oh.
so I was with the Michigan delegation, the Ohio delegation. It was a political convention. We were pretty tight. And when we got together, we would kind of run the show. We could control the votes and win the convention stuff, get our friends elected.
yeah.
So
America.
the keynote speaker was staying in the suite and called us up. And I got the call. I said, "Hey, you're coming out with us." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So there was about 4 of us, and it grew to about an entourage of about 10 of us. And I bar hopped around Buffalo, New York with Jerry Springer.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh,
Oh.
fantastic.
We'd
The
walk
mayor,
in.
his
We'd walk
honor.
in the back door of all these bars.
Yeah.
Go through the kitchen, go right behind the bar, and Jerry would just grab the bottle of Crown Royal, pour 10 shots of Crown Royal for all of us. Never had one himself. We'd all do our shot. He would wave. This is the early, like one person maybe had a camera phone. It was like a flip
Yeah.
phone with a camera, like
Right,
taking
sure.
a grainy,
Yeah.
shitty
Yeah.
picture that they have.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
all blurry, you know.
Yeah.
And then after like the 4th bar, he jumps up on stage with the house band and does Me and Bobby McGee with the house band.
And so was he paying for these drinks? It was like, oh
No.
hell, Jerry Springer was here.
Exactly.
No.
Didn't
You
pay
can
it.
do whatever the
Didn't
hell
pay
you
a
want.
dime.
He walks in and everyone starts chanting.
And
you
he's-
know
he's
that.
walking
Jerry.
along.
Jerry.
And he's walking along like the Pied fucking Piper through Buffalo, New York. And there's like more and more people were gaining on the entourage. And
Oh,
then finally
my
he's like, no,
God.
we're only doing 10. I'm only stealing
Oh.
10 shots per bar. And then he lined them up, and the 10 of us got our shots.
How many bars did you hit that night? Do you remember?
Probably 6 or
Oh,
7.
Jiminy Crickets.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all going through the back door, going out the back door, coming in, banging on the back. The chef goes, Johnny! Whoever's working in the kitchen. Yes, Mr. Springer, come through. and we go in the back and go through and go right into the bar and be treated like kings, and then bail out, go to the next one.
That's great.
So,
R.I.P. Jerry.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
I'll always have Buffalo, Jerry.
Always
And
there
Crown
you go.
Royal. That's my Crown Royal Jerry
There
Springer
you-
story.
That's
Love it.
cheers, man.
Oh, nice.
Back to it without the ice or the water.
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
candy-ish almost.
So much alive.
Now it tastes like candy.
It's so much alive.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of
I went back
warmth,
to the ice
not
on
a
it.
ton.
Did you? I went back to the ice because as much as I enjoyed it, and I totally respect where you're coming from, I really wanted to water this down so I could enjoy it longer. So yeah,
that's what
pussy.
She said.
That's the name of my porno. No, that's that, right?
That was my nickname in high school.
We did do a disclaimer at the beginning. There'd be offensive material.
Yeah,
you were just reading a Wikipedia page when we said that, though.
Offensive material throughout.
Yes.
Yeah, you
bright
can't
lights.
say that. You can't say that
This-
anymore.
this podcast
You
is
can't
not
say
made
that
for
that's what
children.
She said anymore.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
politically no. You got to say
No,
that's the name of my
then
porno.
there
Oh,
goes all my
I
there goes all my
always-
shtick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Half my
that's-
shtick.
Yeah, no, honestly, you
That's why I go,
cannot
that's-
say that's what you can't. You have to say that's the name of my porno.
Actually, but that works
No,
pretty good.
I
too.
go with that was my nickname in college.
I like
That's
that.
my
yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite line with that.
Oh, is it? Oh, that was the name of my band. That one
Right.
works.
That's my first password.
That was. There you go.
That's my combination of my computer.
Oh my god. All right. So all right. So it's Dave, kill, marry, screw. Would you screw this never again? No. Killed never again. Screw around, have it out and about, marry it, take it home, buy one.
I probably screw around with it.
All right, fair
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking at,
I'm
a
glad-
Every
magazine-
once in a
glad I
while,
have
just
it.
it's kind of like some strange. Just every once in a while, you want something a little different, and
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers to
With
that.
that, gentlemen. Man Cave. Oh, thank you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all the podcast things and all the podcast places.
Yeah, and thank
We
you to
haven't been
Big
saying
Tony
that.
at the Wine Garden.
Yes.
Thank you for popping in.
Yes, Tony.
Our guest this evening.
Yep. And
We need to
then,
have a cigar with that man soon.
Yeah.
We need to have a stick with that guy.
It'd be he has that nice little outdoor space. Over
He's
there
got
at the Wine Garden.
there's a nice humidor at
Yeah,
the Wine
he
Garden
does
in
well.
the outdoor space.
He does a good job over there.
So Man Cave Happy Hour, mancavehappyhour.com
.com.
and on the socials and everywhere else. So
Yes, sir.
thank you for joining us.
He's Jamie Flanagan.
That's August Skitchlag.
And I am Matt Fox.
Wow,
Wow, how'd that
Well, you
work
got to
out?
introduce yourself this time.
You gotta, I don't know. I blew that. I should have passed it.
It's okay. It worked out
All
just
right.
fine.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you, gentlemen.
fellas,
Cheers.
gentlemen.
We'll see you all
Cheers.
next week,
Cheers.
everyone. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.